Have you joined?
Okay, please have your questions. You can type your questions down now. You can type your questions, but whilst you're typing that question, I'm still going to read the last stuff I want to read because I think I just like this last one anyway. Though there are more, but this particular one I want to read. I want to read the one that has to do with being productive.
Oh my god, I can't switch it off. I'm using that. I was like, she's not using it. Like she my stash is already like. Just about what? No, I said walk like this. She walks like that. I think she has one to walk. Walk like this. I don't walk like that. I don't walk like this.
Okay, I guess we can start now. Though we still have a few that are still trying to join back. But I don't want to read the story and then others can hear. But like I said, in the meantime, please post your questions. If you've got questions, post of questions on decision making, because every day we make decisions every time, but there are certain things you need to consider in your decision. Remember that the decision you want to take will be making you. So you are making yourself by making the decision. Yeah. So please remember that. Okay, maybe at this point, maybe I should just mute everyone so that you won't be able to talk or mute yourself. So, Chup, are you ready for it? Are you ready? Can I see in the chat? Let me be sure that I'm communicating. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I read the chat? Can I get your response in the chat? Are you ready? Good, good. Good, thank you. Thank you. You're ready. So here says, Chukwu, a 17-year-old from Enugu, started an online business selling traditional snacks to his schoolmates. It quickly took off, but he struggled to balance schoolwork and his entrepreneurial venture. So Chukwu learned to manage his time effectively, delegate tasks, and prioritize responsibilities. He even hired his friends to help with the business, teaching them valuable skills. Now, I'm not going to be asking people to talk because the time is. Okay. Okay, so somebody wants me to give my opinion on sorry, I'm reading a chat. So one of you sent me a message that I should give my opinion on the third person, the third story. Let me go back to the story. Okay, the third story, the 16-year-old. All right, let me give my opinion. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That was before this thing went off, right? That was the last story. Okay. Yes, these are similarly real life situations anyway. Firstly, 16-year-old. See, there are some things for some of my mentees, I used to say, look, hit me, because, for many people, they like to pretend to their parents that they are not feeling what they are feeling. But, at the teenage life or at the teenage level, There are certain things you already feel. There are decisions you're already taking that your parents are not aware. And such decision includes relationship decisions. And you are very good at keeping it from your parents. Oh, yes, that's not a big deal, you know. So many of you, some people are probably into that. There is that girl that you like, there is that boy that you like, you know. And sometimes, in fact, it's as ugly as this issue on ground, like this particular issue, where you have students, 15-year-old students, 17-year-old, that are fighting one another over boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm sure some of you may even have friends, or you may have fallen into that category where you say, oh, he stole my boyfriend, he stole my girlfriend. In fact, let me tell you a real life story. This is real. You know, I don't know if you're gonna believe this, but this is the truth. When I was in secondary school, when I was in SS2, SS2, I was a quiet guy. I was quiet. You won't believe it. I was quiet, but I was outspoken, but I was quiet. So I mind my business. And in class, I was intelligent. So it seems I was neat, intelligent, and quiet. I don't make noises like some would make. It seemed that ladies tend to like quiet boys, even though I know some ladies also like bad boys. You know, the bad big boys. I know all your tricks, even though Faith was telling me sister code, and she has refused to tell me the sister code since it's for the sisters. No problem. Please, I hope you're not finding, okay, I hope you can hear me. Please, let me be sure you can hear me. Because it's because of the message that I should reply, or I should give my opinion. That's why I'm going back. Thank you, Victor. I've seen your message for the question. Yes, you can hear me. All right, thank you. So when I was in secondary, it seems that ladies tend to like intelligent boys, quiet boys, but somehow I just realized that some ladies in the class were tripping for me. Now, I don't look it, right? I don't look. I don't look it. No, come on, take a look at me. Do I look it? Do I look like the guy they tripped for? You know. But it just happened that some girls in the class were tripping for me. But I wasn't bothered, you know, because even in school too, I had the girl that I liked, but I never made my intention known, just admire from afar. And that's why I said that, look, I know some of you, if your parents will hear that you like a boy or a girl, they say, yay, you have become a bad girl. So that's why some of you hide the truth from them. But thank God, Ismael said he doesn't lie anymore. You know, and I don't want to put Ismail on the spot by saying, Ismail, can you tell me, do you have somebody you like or you're attracted to? But I want to address that situation, that number 3 event, issue. So it now got, I didn't mind. I was okay, you know. They were just admiring, and then they would look at the way they would talk to me sometimes, you know, be coming to me. It's okay. I mean, I know I wasn't interested in a relationship at that level. I knew I was young. I knew that I gave myself a target that I wasn't going to be in a relationship until so time, until so period. But one thing happened one day that shocked me in class. Some girls started fighting, but the fight had not got physical, but they were already abusing each other because of me. Me, that I didn't even, nobody came to approach me. I didn't say yes. One of them was upset with the other friend that I'm her boyfriend. That was she not aware that she was attracted to me, and that I'm for her. God forgive me, God forgive me. The girl in question was not even that attractive to me. You know, she wasn't even the very attractive one. So at some point, when they were now fighting and they were saying, and the girl has said, I'm my boyfriend, then that's when I changed it for them. I said, don't ever in your life, don't ever try that nonsense with me. I was a cool guy, but the fact that she was saying I was her boyfriend, don't close the road for me now. So at that level, I knew perfectly. So it was a real thing. I'm sure that's why I'm saying that this is a rare situation, you know. So I can relate when at that level you have some people, friends fighting one another and say, oh, or some guys say, leave that girl for me now. No, come on, leave that girl for me. But the reality and the truth of it is, at that level, it is the wrongest decision you can take. I'm telling you, one of the wrongest decisions. I know how secondary school love used to do or teenage love used to feel, but it's one of the wrongest decisions you can take to say at that level. It's a misplaced priority. I think somebody was we were chatting and during this class, somebody posted something about need and want. I think that was Oshidele. Need and want. It's a misplaced priority. If at that time that's what you are looking, if that's what you're focusing on, that is one. Then secondly, to now follow your friend's ex. At the teenage level, there is what we call integrity. And when you're taking decisions, you must also put integrity into consideration so that you make sure that the decision you are taking does not affect your integrity. Don't forget, I said the decision you take is what makes you. When you take a decision, that decision becomes your personality. That decision you take becomes your identity. So like that person that was taking somebody's, should I say ex? Not that I even snatched. But you know what the story says? They said the girl was termed a home wrecker. She was termed a home wrecker. That became an identity by virtue of the decision she took. So basically, she didn't make the best decision at that time. It was a wrong decision. It was a wrong decision. And if you find yourself in that situation where you think you are drawn towards your friends, what do they call it? Because this thing is really, in fact, as I was saying, I just remember another story, but I'm not sharing because of time. If you think you're attracted to your friends, and I'm not even as a teenager, because this is something to make you, so that as you grow older, you are matured into it, But if you feel you are attracted, I think you should keep a distance. Sometimes, whatever is making you attracted to somebody that does not belong to you, if you can be attracted to that person, then it means that you can be attracted to the person whilst he was dating your friend. And I will ask you, if you were the one, will you be comfortable with it? But I know certain events and circumstances can also surround that kind of situation. So I won't be giving an absolute response as regards dating your friend's ex. Your best friend for that matter again? All right. I hope I've answered the question. I hope I've given my feedback. So this is the one I wanted to read, but I won't be asking for your feedback on that. I'll just read the story and then tell you, okay, I've read the story. I want to read it again for the few because some people joined again later. I know there's a question on the chat, in the chat box that I will read, that I will answer. Chuku, a 17-year-old from Enugu, started an online business. You are not too young to start a business. Selling traditional snacks to his schoolmates. You see where the person started? Took that decision of becoming a salesperson. He quickly took off, but he struggled to balance schoolwork and entrepreneurship venture. So the person was like, God. So there was the issue of balancing. You see, that's the word, balance. If you're taking that decision, you must weigh your decisions. You must weigh the decisions you are taking. You must consider the long-term goal and the short-term goal. Don't, because of a short-term goal, destroy a long-term goal. Do you understand? For example, because you want to get some small money, then you destroy your education. You destroy your academic journey. No. So you must be able to balance, put a balance, make sure that they complement each other. But struggles, so schoolwork and Chuku learned to manage his time effectively. That's the key thing. Delegate tasks and prioritize responsibilities. So when you want to do your sellings. At least I know a teenager too who is in school and she sells. But then she also knows how to prioritize, how to know when to start the selling, how to know when to focus and sleep in the library. I mean, I don't mean literally sleeping. I mean, stay in the library and study. So you must learn to prioritize responsibility. He even hired his friends to help with the business, teaching them valuable skills. The benefit of that is taking calculated risk can lead to success and personal growth. Thank you so much for today's session. Let me start taking your questions now. Let me start taking your questions. Okay, somebody sent a personal message and asked, How can I build trust and credibility with my team? Wow. For you to be asking that kind of question now. Wow. That's a mature question. Are you sure you're a teenager, Victor? Victor, post in the chat. I want to know what age group do you belong to? The Gen Z, the Gen Alpha, like we were taught. You know, how can you maintain credibility and trust with your teammates? Well, the answer is, how can I build trust and credibility on my team? Well, the answer is simple. Stand by what you say. Act on what you say. Be a reliable person. Be positive. Because if you're not a reliable person, let's give an instance for the third story that I had to speak on about that person is not reliable. You're 13. Wow. And you ask that question. Amazing. That's beautiful. You know, that's good. All right. Please keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming while I answer his own. So the reality, the truth of the matter is, you must learn to stand by what you say. Standing by what you say means that whether you think it is palatable or not, if somebody should say you said something, if truly you said it, once you are confronted, don't out of fear chicken out. Even if it is something you regret, accept and say, yes, truly I said this. But at that time, I said it based on what the way I saw it, or the information that was made available to me at that time. But I'm sorry. That's credibility. Trust. You know, for people to also trust you, you must show a sign that you care about them. For people to want to trust to follow you, you must do things that will benefit them. Sometimes that's how you build trust in people. Don't let it be all about me, all about me, all about me. Let it be that, okay, you are able to also do some things for them and because of them. That's how you build trust. That's how you build credibility. Integrity is key. Okay? Integrity is key. Stand by what you say, support what you say with actions, okay? And trust, and look out for the best in others, you know, help others. It could be like you are encouraging them. It could be like you are speaking to them. It could be like giving them word of hope. Word of hope. It could be. Those are part of the examples. Okay, you said, what are the most important qualities of an effective leader and how can I develop them? Wow. Quality of an effective leader. How can you develop them? 30 years. Are you sure you don't have your parents beside you asking you to type these questions? I'm suspecting you're Victor. Qualities of an effective leader. How can you develop them? Okay, well, firstly, you need to know that leadership is an embodiment. Leadership is an embodiment, you know. A leader is someone that is defined by qualities of who they are. Now, what are those qualities? And these qualities will answer your questions. One is service. Okay? Service. Let me read your question again. What are the most important qualities of an effective leader? Yeah. One is service. You must serve. A leader must be willing to serve. The other thing is responsibility. Responsibility. Okay? You must show responsibility. You must be responsible. You must be a reliable person, somebody that can be relied on in your church, at home. When you're given a task, you are certain that you will complete it, you get it done. You don't unnecessarily procrastinate. Responsibility. You must also take responsibility for actions. Like I said earlier when I was talking about credibility, building credibility and trust. Okay? So remember I said service, you must serve, you must work. Okay? That's a leader. A leader is not just all about sit down, yeah, you do this, you do that, you do that. You know, you must also be willing to serve. You must be willing to do. You must be willing to show responsibility. Then third thing is influence. You must have the ability to influence others. Influence yourself first, then influence others. You know, influence, serve, responsibility. And there is one more too that there's one more point that I'm forgetting right now, about the qualities of leadership, that I know I used to call them to serve, influence, responsibility, and sorry, as we go on, if I remember, I will say it or I'll post it on the group. I know there are certain qualities, but these qualities, if you are able to work on them, if you are able to examine them and have them, yeah, you're a good leader and you will become a good leader. That you serve others. You serve others. You show you are responsible for others. You take responsibility for others as well. So meaning that you are concerned about others. You also take responsibility for your actions. You show responsibility. Yeah, these are more questions are coming on. All right, thank you. And as we go on, I might remember along the way. So my new question would be, what if we don't end up deciding on a decision? How does that affect everyone around me? And that question is tricky. If we don't end up deciding on a decision, not deciding is a decision. Remember I told you that decisions are like options, yes or no. Indecision is a decision. So you also need to examine that and say, okay, not deciding, what will be the effect? For example, when you are supposed to speak up and you don't speak up, that's you've taken a decision. If they say, okay, people should, maybe something is happening and you are in power or you have the authority or you have the advantage to influence things, and you're not influencing things at that time, then the question is, you have also made a decision. If they are bullying someone in your school and and maybe your friends are bullying juniors or younger people, and you are in that place and you are enjoying the situation, whether you're enjoying it or not, but you just decide to, to be unconcerned. Either you report them or you try to tell them, look, to stop. If you don't do that, you're also participating. You are making a decision. You're making a decision that oppression should continue. So I'm sure you are seeing the effect that sometimes not deciding is also a decision. Okay? Not deciding is a decision. All right. Sir, what would be your neutral medicine in your perspective for the aftermath of any decision made? Thank you for this question, because I was supposed to say that and it's just supposed to come like a reminder. But thank you for asking it. The truth of the matter again is you can't always make the right decision at all times. No, you can't. All decisions you make, there are times that some may not be right. You know what you do? I said this is something I was supposed to say, but thank God you asked that. I wanted to remind you of it, of one of I think one of the speakers may have mentioned it. Now look, when you take a decision, and the decision was not good, what should you do? What you do is that you learn. You learn and you move on. There is no grammar to it. Learn your error, admit it, but just don't do it the same way, because doing it the same way will put you back where you were. So the medicine is, you don't necessarily have to be brooding over decisions that didn't end well. Because you see, one of the things I've also learned is, and I think I've forgotten a quote. I have a quote for it as well. I said, failure is a teacher. Failure itself, I forgot how the quote, how I put the quote there. I said, failure itself is a teacher. When you fail, you have also learned. I think I once said that Thomas Edison, I don't know whether it is true. They said the bulb, the guy who made the bulb, tried it in 999 times, and he got it at the 1,000 times. And when they asked him that you failed this 999 times, they said the response he made, I don't know if that is true, that his response was that no, he didn't fail 999 times. He only learned how to do it differently 999 times. So if you take a decision now and that decision didn't work, you've learned not to go through that decision again. You've only learned that way it doesn't work. You have learned something. You have an advantage over someone else. That's an experience. Yeah, okay. I think the quote was about experience. Follow me on social media. Sometimes I put some quotes. I do some videos, year in, year out, and where I put some quotes. So I think that's one of the quotes. I think experience. I was talking about experience. Yeah, because failure becomes an experience for you. It's an experiential knowledge. Failure is not failure. So it depends on how you even look at it. Failure is an experiential knowledge. So you have gained an experiential knowledge. Yes, that's it. The quote is coming in. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Failure is an experiential knowledge. All right. Okay. So, thank you. Okay, these are the 2 questions I will take last, and then we're done. Thank you so much. What are the solutions and steps we can take when we make the wrong decisions and it got us into trouble? Okay, that's a decision actually. That's the question I just answered. You admit it. First, take responsibility. Like Brad Shaggy will say, the content creator. My bad. I take full responsibility. So take full responsibility. Okay? Take full responsibility. Then learn how not to do it that same way. Okay? Learn a different way that it can be done. All right. What are some common leadership obstacles and how can I avoid them? Now, thank God you said some, so I will just give some. Some obstacles of leadership. Number 1 is that if you are not a follower, you can't be a leader. Some people have not learned the act of followership. They want to start leading. It will be difficult for you to command respect from people. Do you understand? So one obstacle is not being a follower and wanting to lead. It's an obstacle. Then another obstacle is having a wrong ideology of leadership. Such a wrong ideology is when you think leadership is all about controlling people. You think that's what leadership is. You don't see leadership from the perspective of serving, influencing, helping others. It's an obstacle. So you can avoid it. You can avoid the obstacle of being a bad leader, by first learning to follow. Okay? By learning to follow. Then you can also avoid the other obstacle of controlling people. I'm looking for a word for that now. That leadership that does not have the ability to influence people positively or, by learning first to lead yourself, You can avoid that. When you learn to serve others, then you would have taken the obstacle of forcing people or getting it wrong. Because at the end of it, you just realize that it gets to a time that people are not listening to you anymore. Another obstacle to leadership, you remember, as a man thinker, so easy. So that's why I said that you need wrong ideology. When you have that wrong ideology of how leadership is, everybody must submit to me, everybody must do this. You are not even thinking of how to serve. That's a wrong ideology. Okay. So I hope I've been able to also convince you. Sorry, time is far spent. I think I will like to end today's session. Please, I hope you've learned something. I hope you've learned something. Thank you so much for having me and for allowing me to take a session today. Oh my God. Now what decision am I going to take? Okay, I take the decision to attend tomorrow's session. All right. Thank you so much. I can see the chat. Thank you too. I'm glad you were able to learn something. I'm glad we have all learned something. I'm glad It was interactive. Thank you for making this class interactive. Tomorrow is the last session. Oh my God, tomorrow's speaker. Oh God, God is able, God is able, God is able. Tomorrow's session is going to be awesome. Really, really awesome. Really, really awesome. You don't want to miss tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. Please be in your best regalia. Fine clothes. Wear your fine clothes. Then after tomorrow's session, we're going to write little tests, but we're not writing that tomorrow, and then we start giving certification. On that group, okay, so I wanted to say something, is an announcement. We're also trying to come up with something on mentorship for teenagers, so that you can have mentors and stuff like that. We have some people who have taken some courses, who have gone through some of our trainings. It will be lovely. I would like to know you guys more. I would like to know all of you more, and I would like you guys also to connect. I know some of the sessions we've done in the past, some of our students, teenagers, they connected through this, became friends, through this meeting. We met at TLIC 2022. We met at TLIC 2023. Now, this is 2024. We'll find a way for you to interact with one another. And, from there, maybe I will leave the group open. I'll leave the group open so that you can get to know one another and then share and come and have a conversation. All right, thank you so much for today. I'd like to see you tomorrow in class, and then tomorrow we're going to take a group picture together, and it's going to be an awesome one. Until then, stay blessed. Remember, you don't make decisions, you take the decisions, and the decisions you take end up making you. Bye-bye. Oh, the link I sent yesterday was not working. Is it the YouTube link? I'll resend it. I'll resend the link, please. I'll resend the link. All right. Thank you for that feedback. Please, these videos will be available on YouTube. Check it out. I'm signing out. Bye-bye.